Welcome to the Double Stuff Podcast, where we're double the host, double the topics, double the fun. I'm Alan.
I'm Charity.
And I'm Sarah.
And I don't know if you could guess, but we're talking about spy movies today.
Spies.
Yeah.
Yes.
One of my all-time favorite memories with my dad, a bonding thing. We would do...
Oh, like a James Bond?
Yeah.
James Bonding moment.
See what you did there. See what you did there. Dad joke.
Yeah. It was the 7 Days of Bond.
Oh.
And on TBS growing up, they would play all the Bonds back to back to back to back to back, 24 hours a day for 7 days, and it was
without
so
commercials?
much fun. Oh, they
have commercials.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, this isn't TCM.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, no. This was a big ordeal. 7 days of 007. That was a fun week.
So who's your favorite James Bond?
who's your
Sean Connery.
Yeah, the OG of all James Bonds.
I like Sean Connery, but the first James Bond that I saw in the theaters was Pierce Brosnan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I didn't like Timothy Dalton all that much.
Roger Moore?
Roger Moore's classic. Can't go wrong with Roger Moore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So really all of them. I like all
I like them all.
I like all of them. Absolutely. So what about you guys? Did you grow up watching spy movies, espionage?
I think we grew up watching the corny ones for kids with the bumbling bad guys, but
Yeah?
you're able to solve it somehow, you know. I mean,
So is this like an Inspector Clouseau?
see,
I was thinking Get Smart because
Get Smart.
Yeah,
Okay.
so this was maybe 2000 or so, and TV Land, back when they still showed like old TV shows, they had introduced Get Smart, and they had a whole weekend marathon, so back with the marathons again. And I had never seen that, but I sort of was starting to get into shows from the 60s around that time, and so when I first watched that series, like that whole weekend, I was like, this is great because it's funny.
It is funny.
But it's got that little bit of mystery to it.
Yeah.
It's got that like 60s kind of a flair
and it's fun.
to
And the
it.
clothes. I love clothes from the 60s. So
Yeah.
I was a big Get Smart fan, but it does have that bumbling spy detective that we were
Missed it
talking
by
about.
that much.
Yeah.
By that much.
Control and
Very-
chaos, and
Very Inspector
the bad guys
Gadget
are always
kind of a
hilarious.
thing.
Yeah, well, he did the voice of Inspector Gadget back in the day.
which is
Don Adams.
extremely appropriate.
Yeah, absolutely.
See, I'm trying to think. Like I said, I don't think I really got into spy movies in terms of like that whole genre. I think it was just, hey, we're gonna solve a crime of some sort. They somehow stumble into it. So it could be like those corny, like, what was it? Some of those old Disney movies, you know, like Get a Clue, or some of those movies, or randomly
Starring Don Knotts.
Yeah, it would be those kind. But because, I mean, and that was a big time genre, especially in the 60s and 70s. And then I randomly started watching, I haven't seen it in such a long time, but Dean Martin had his own Matt Helm. That was his spy character name. I mean, it wasn't to the same caliber as James Bond, but he was that kind of suave, debonair kind of person with all the girls and then karate kicking and solving crimes.
Yeah.
You know, and then Peter Lawford and Sammy Davis Jr. did a series called Salt and Pepper. And so,
Oh, I love it.
Which one was Salt?
Yeah, well, I'll give you a few good guesses. And so I think they did at least 2 movies, maybe 3. I'm trying to remember, but it seemed like, I think the 60s and 70s was the best time for spy movies because it had a bit of a futuristic appeal. It's like, you know, any kind of equipment could be some kind of telephonic device, some kind of something. Yeah. And I guess maybe nowadays...
In the heights of the Cold War, too. I mean, everybody's scared to death of
like the Russians and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, just the nuclear threat.
Well, you even saw that in regular TV shows. Like someone would do an episode centered around someone being a spy, or, you know, they do a dream sequence. Like I know there was an episode of Gilligan's Island, and it was a dream sequence where Gilligan was this 007 character, and all the other castaways were either like a villain or, you know, like a sexy girl that was trying to get them, you know, so everybody was doing that sort of thing in their TVs and movies and stuff.
And I feel like I mean, it's cool that the spy genre is still pretty popular nowadays. I feel like it's
really big, too.
I feel like it's more difficult nowadays because it seems like the technology now has kind of caught up with itself.
Have you guys seen The Americans?
No, I have not.
Looking at one now.
That's really good.
But see, I just wonder, with the technology we have now, and because I think maybe it's easier now. You kind of have to make it more challenging to how could they fall for this, or how can you put them into this trap when they couldn't have seen it in the first place, or there was no laser sensors, whatever, to do it.
Right.
And of course, our phones now.
Yeah.
I mean, the phone we have itself is an amazing device.
Yeah.
So we don't have to take our shoes off and talk into the souls,
Right.
or anything like that. So, I don't know if nowadays. It's still really big, but I guess I'm just kind of concerned.
You see those elements in other movies. So even if it's not a spy movie, I mean, you can go into like a superhero movie. You still have the good versus bad. You have the good guys trying to get to the bad guys and stop the evil plan without them knowing. Those are basically essential spy things that you do.
Yeah, the stakes have to be at like a global scale for it to be a good
it's got to be
movie.
way
and only
over
one
the top.
person in the world can stop it.
That's it. Yeah. No pressure. You know.
Well, one of the things that talking about how the marriage between high stakes spy espionage, and then you have the fool that kind of like blunders his way through the movie. One of my favorite is The Man Who Knew Too Little, and this is done by Bill Murray. I don't know if you've seen it. It's a play on The Man Who Knew Too Much by Alfred Hitchcock.
Yeah.
And it is hilarious. It's one of my favorite all-time movies. And in fact, a few weeks ago when we were doing the board games, you had mentioned a game that was a plot device in The Man Who Knew Too Little, which was Kerplunk.
Oh, okay.
So Bill Murray's like tied up, but he's got allergies or something, and they're playing Kerplunk, and somehow he scatters the marbles. They roll on the marbles, knock themselves out. Somehow he frees himself. It's hilarious.
No, I've never heard of that film before.
It didn't do well, and I don't know why. But it's one of those that
it's
more
it's
you
become
watch
like a cult classic now. Probably.
I don't even know if it's a cult classic. I don't know if anybody. I mean, you're not unique in the fact that you've never heard of that movie. I mean, everybody I talk to, they're like, I've never even heard of that movie.
And there's those movies where it's like it's straight to DVD or straight to TV. So unless there's a big campaign to advertise for,
and this
it's one
didn't
of those.
Have like What About Bob or Groundhog Day kind of a following.
It's one of those things that it's a project that you do in between to get a little money until you do your next project.
Right.
It's like, I did this acting project to pay the bills. I'm not proud of it, or whatever. It's just an in-between project.
This kind of, because you had made mention of Inspector Clouseau and stuff, and I'm a big fan of the Pink Panther, specifically A Shot in the Dark, which is a sequel to the first film, which I think is better than the others, but you have to have one to have the other.
You got to set up the story.
Yeah. So in episode 49, we talked about detective shows. It's called The Red Herrings, for those of you who are interested.
That's right.
So I was just curious, what's the major difference between a spy movie or dealing with spies and espionage and detective and those kind of things? Like, are they similar or are they different?
I think with a detective, you're trying to bring another person to justice. You're trying to right a wrong that's happened. So whether it be a murder, a theft, or something like that.
And detectives do it legally for the most part.
That's true. They have to operate within the bounds of the law. Because that's the other thing about a spy movie. Usually the spy is a bit of a outlaw.
Sort of rogue.
Yeah, somebody that doesn't really follow the rules and is always getting yelled at by their superiors.
And nobody necessarily knows he's there. Like an inspector, you see them walk in
with their trench coat.
Yeah, and they're questioning people. They're going into the different areas where the crime could have been held. They're looking at evidence. A spy is sort of going in, sneaking around. He doesn't want to be seen.
And the stakes are higher too.
Yeah, and he doesn't want to be seen, and he wants to solve whatever the problem is, sort of get in and get out, ideally. Now, that never happens because that would make a really boring movie, but the idea is to go in, get the crown jewels or whatever, and then get out. But
with as many obstacles as possible.
Without someone catching him, ideally.
Right.
But a detective is like, hi, I'm Detective Columbo, and then he comes in and asks the questions or whatever.
That's right.
So everybody
Columbo.
knows he's there. Everybody knows who he is. Yeah.
So kind of like what we talked about with the detective things, like let's say that we're part of this, espionage thing, and Tommy Smitherton is our James Bond, Agent 00 stuffed. Okay.
All right.
So we are in this facility. We're going to help Agent 00 stuffed get ready. So like, what will our roles be? Like what would the three of us be in Spy Land?
Like who would be the one that would equip him with the new gadgets?
That or would we be, because he also with some of those spy things while he's doing his thing, there's other people in the back kind of watching too. They're like they're actual spies too, but they're the sub spies with the the newspapers.
In all those movies, you always have like a hacker, someone who has to
the tech person.
the techie guy that has to get into the system and turn off all the security cameras.
Right.
So which one would be the all time?
I wouldn't. Tommy's gonna die. He's gonna get found out if we're in charge.
Alan's gonna come and be like, "Hey, you forgot your gun."
Yeah.
It's like a dad bringing a lunchbox to school. You forgot your lunch, honey.
He'll figure it out.
He's like, so when I break into the government system, is the password
1 2 3 4?
Yeah, or is it 4 3 2 1?
Nice
I can never remember.
Back. Yeah, nice callback.
Okay, we know what Alan is not.
Yeah.
So what would you be? The doorman for the here? Let me open the door for you.
I'll be the driver. I'd be a good driver. I'd be the getaway. So
so he's like Mr. T in the A-Team.
Yeah.
He's BA with the van.
Yes.
Driving through the fence and everything.
Yes. That's me.
Yeah, but the spy usually...
Alan, you're heading right to the water. Don't even worry about it. Hit a button. It's a submarine too. I think of everything.
Well, see, but that would say if that was, I guess, would that be more what, Batman? Because you would be like chauffeur butler sort of.
Okay, yeah.
Because I guess I'm thinking, at least with a lot of the ones I've seen with Bond, he has his own getaway car with all the
but
buttons.
he had a submarine car too.
Oh, that's right, he did.
I think I don't know if I could say this on air. Octo. Beep. He did that.
That's so stupid. We are amusing ourselves at this point.
I'm pretty sure it was Sean Connery. I don't think Roger Moore had a submersible car. No, I know that one of the James Bonds had a submarine car.
A submarine kind of car. That would be kind of cool. Like, I think that's the cool thing about all the different gadgetries. And I always like the part like what it was a pin, right?
Oh yeah, the pin.
It always has that special.
Well, even the villains, like they had special things. I mean, in Moonraker they had Jaws. Jaws was in a couple of different ones too. In the aforementioned movie Octo.
That was the weak one.
Had no wait. I don't think Oddjob was in Goldfinger.
It was Goldfinger, yeah, because he had that hat that had the razor attached to it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sarah, I think you'd be
the one I was talking about was
James Bond movies.
It's like a saw blade yo-yo or something like that.
Oh, what a way to play around the world, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Charity said I'd be M. That makes me.
You're Judi Dench. You're Judi Dench.
With all the poise and
that Britishness of it all.
So who'd be Q?
I feel like that'd be Dan, though.
Dan be Q? Yeah.
I think Charity, in a weird way, Charity could be
what does this do? That's my lunch. Don't touch it.
Charity, because of Charity, she could easily, you could be a double agent.
Ooh.
Okay, so before you said that, here's what I was thinking.
Well, Bond girls die, though. That's the problem about being a Bond girl.
But I do think I could be a double agent, but funny you should say that, because I was thinking that if the character, if it's not James Bond, if our quote-unquote spy character had to do something and he needed a decoy, I would go in and distract the people and, get their eyes off of the spy so that he can go in and do the things, because I'm a pretty convincing liar. Because of that, Sarah said I could be a double agent.
So she would actually be decoys to me, so my nickname would bequeath to her.
Okay.
Saucy Decoy McGee.
Yeah, Saucy Decoy. It's like Saucy Decoy. Everyone calls her D for double agent decoy.
I like it.
Yeah. So if Tommy Smitherton, did his little walk and stuff, so he's having to infiltrate. I don't know. I can't think of any Wichita things that sound sneaky. He's
trying to figure out what they're gonna do with the riverfront.
With Century 2.
Yeah, with Century 2. Little do we know it's a diabolical plan and a maniacal person.
They say it's going to be an aquarium.
Yeah.
But
that does sound.
On the opening night of the aquarium.
That does sound very cinematic, where you don't realize, and underground is this big evil lair.
Exactly.
It's kind of like The Incredibles.
Nobody looks under the river.
No, you know where that troll statue is?
That's
the entrance to get into the secret headquarters.
And every one of the keepers of the plane that have been pieced around the city
they're all plants. They are all plants.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Wait. Okay.
We got a spy
In all
movie.
seriousness, can we make this movie? Can we do this? I want to do this.
That sounds very
The
believable.
opening dome of the Century 2 opens up.
I'm the Underminer.
I've been under you. Now you're under me.
That was for you to see this giant auger just coming out.
Oh my gosh, I was not ready for that.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's a movie. That's at least a Pixar movie.
Hey, okay, we got something for Tallgrass, guys.
Okay.
We're gonna do this.
All we have to do is just cast it, write it, shoot it.
We are now opening auditions for 00 Stuff.
00 stuff.
00 stuffed.
Yes, I said that on purpose because it works with that. Plus, that'll be the title of our episode.
Okay.
No,
really
but
good.
I think that works out. Now, in my mind,
We need a new theme song though, because if we use the Happy Boy theme for our, the spy comes in do 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 do.
Well, you could do that, but you have to use that
a minor key.
That or some kind of the similar instruments
Like
they
a
use for
synthesizer?
that.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to think what kind of.
We'll talk to Kevin McLeod, see what he can hook up for us.
Can you give us a spy kind of thing to the Happy Boy
You've
theme?
given
That'd
us
be great.
everything. What's one more?
So we already got a big list here of things we need to do. So, but have you ever thought of yourselves either as you are personally, or in your mind, whatever your dream personality or persona would be, would you think you would be a good spy?
Yes.
Without even a shadow of a doubt.
Definitely. I think I would make a fantastic spy.
That was quick.
I think I would to an extent. I can do the jumping off of buildings and hopefully landing on
Parkour.
something. Yeah.
Parkour. Ow! I got broke myself.
But I'm pretty good of at least
cracked bones.
we're gonna do that now. We just add 00 to everything.
That's right.
00, ouch.
That's the sequel to 00 Stuff.
Yeah, exactly. I've never really thought. I don't think that I could handle that kind of pressure. I really don't have. I can't handle that much pressure.
Well, the only reason why I say that,
if you came up to me and said, "Alan, we need you to save Wichita," I'd be like, "We're
sorry.
screwed."
Yeah.
sorry, Wichita.
No, because I've asked myself that question before, and I people watch. And I feel like
I do that too.
I feel like that's something a spy would need to do anyway, just like a stakeout or something.
Do you ever get it
I'll
right?
notice, huh?
Do you ever get it right? Like when
in
you're
a
watching...
murder mystery and stuff?
No. When your people watching, like, he's gonna pick his nose. He picked his nose.
I like how the stakes are so low with you, Alan. It's like, he's going to do it. The finger's coming in. It's going up. It's going... Ah!
I know.
I feel like I'm good at watching people, but in terms of, like, execution, like, full-on attack, I just be like, he's standing right there. He's standing right there. So I would just... I would observe and maybe record the movements, but in terms of being the one that does the drop and bring all the people to surround him, I don't think I can do that.
Huh?
I just think I'd be a good spy because no one would suspect me.
Okay.
Yeah. Again, back to the decoys.
A very good quality to have if you're a spy. Absolutely.
Who says I'm not?
Oh.
And on that note.
Well, thank you guys so much for listening to our very, very secretive, sneaky spy episode. And if you have a favorite spy movie or spy show that we didn't cover, drop us a comment and we'll talk about it perhaps in an episode in the future. And Sarah's going to let you know where to leave that comment.
Thank you, Alan. So if you want to find out more information, just go to our website at doublestuffpod.com, and you can listen to us on all the major podcast platforms. Check us out on Facebook and Instagram at Double Stuff Podcast, and on Twitter at Double Stuff P, and that's the letter P. Da, 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 da. Da, da.
Oh my gosh, did we just do that?
That oddly worded in the corniest way.
Perfect.